Turmoil in British politics today as the UK's Deputy Prime Minister is forced to resign, prompting a massive reshuffle of Keir Starmer's cabinet. Angela Rayner, who also served as the Housing Secretary, referring herself to the Independent Ethics Advisor after admitting to not paying enough stamp duty tax on a personal property. Ms Rayner had been tipped as a future Prime Minister, but was found to have breached the Ministerial Code of Conduct, triggering a change in several senior ministerial positions.
Mr Speaker, let me put this to him simply. If it was a police officer, a teacher, a doctor, we would expect the independent process to be followed and not changed after the verdict. It's one rule for them and one rule for the rest of us.
An outspoken and unconventional politician, Angela Rayner was never afraid of taking the fight to her opponents.
They're using the rules as it seems fit for them, and actually now people are seeing it's one rule for them and one rule for everybody else. It's a disgrace what they've done. They've undermined Parliament, they've undermined our democracy.
But a row over property tax found her on the receiving end of difficult questions.
But just to be clear, you've referred yourself to the Standards Commissioner, you've contacted the tax revenue and said you could be liable for more tax. Do you think your position, Angie Rayner, even though you've explained it, do you think it's sustainable? Do you think you can carry on as particularly Housing Minister?
Well, I made a mistake based upon the advice that I relied upon. Hopefully most people can see if you rely on advice given to you by lawyers and you follow that process and then you find out that that process is wrong and that advice was wrong, I'm rectifying it at the earliest opportunity.
Angela Rayner's route to the top of government was an unusual one. Born in Stockport, she left school at 16 whilst pregnant and with no qualifications. After training in social care, she became a union official before then joining Labour. First elected to the Greater Manchester seat of Ashton-under-Lyne in 2015, Angela Rayner was appointed Shadow Education Secretary a year later. Tipped as a leadership candidate, Angela Rayner instead ran and was elected as Labour deputy to Sir Keir Starmer after 2019's election loss. After initially handing her a string of shadow cabinet job titles, Sir Keir attempted to demote her after disappointing local election results in 2021. But she resisted, won the power struggle that followed, and was handed an even bigger job, solidifying her position as a popular and influential voice on the left of the party. She sometimes went too far and was criticised that year for calling Conservatives scum.
You said last night, we cannot get any worse than a bunch of scum, homophobic, racist, misogynist, absolute pile of banana republic, Etonian piece of scum. Is that the kind of civility that the Starmer-Rayner Labour Party envisages?
Well, look, that was post-watershed, as we'd say, with a group of activists at an event last night.
She eventually apologised for those comments, but still didn't shy away from confrontation in the Commons.
Mr Speaker, I know that it is great to be here with the Right Honourable Lady, the Shadow Secretary of State, for the future of work. We know the future of the job that she has in mind.
Mr Speaker, I've heard on the grapevine there might be a vacancy for Prime Minister soon, so maybe I should have aspirations.
But questions about her property arrangements started to emerge even before the election. Inquiries by the police and the tax office into homes she owned in the northwest seemed to put her in the clear. It was the purchase of a flat on the south coast that proved her undoing, though. A politician widely thought of as a potential successor to Sir Keir Starmer, brought down by the type of scandal she had so often called out. Rob Powell, Sky News in Westminster.